We're here with Washington State women's basketball head coach Kamie Ethridge. Coach, your team picked up a big 61-55 win over number 21 Oregon State. It's your first ranked win over a ranked team here at Washington State. So just tell us about the game. Tell us how it was in the locker room.
Yeah. I can't express how happy I am for this team. They've worked so hard for it. We got pummeled and have been pummeled over the last couple of years by some of these awesome programs, and have some players that have experienced that in our gym, and then obviously have some new players that haven't experienced it that are really helping us and helping us maybe change the direction of our program. So couldn't be happier. They've worked so hard. They've stuck with this whole protocol. They've been so good about not picking up the virus and all of those things. And it's just it's a great statement game for us to beat a team like Oregon State, who you knew was coming in here having lost 2 games in a row, a little bit desperate. And I personally didn't know how we would be as a young team, new players. Would we be thinking it was easy, and how would we respond? And the fact that we got down in the first quarter and then responded in a great way in the first half just shows that this team really has a lot of fight to them, a lot of character, a lot of leadership, and that's awesome. I'm excited about it.
Talk about Joanna Tudar's performance. She's somebody that came in. She's got a 3-point shot, but maybe a lot of the attention in the incoming recruiting class has been on Charlie Sledger-Walker. She comes in, Joanna comes out and scores a career-high 20 points today. She really lit it up in the second half. She made 6 3-point field goals as well. Very efficient from behind the arc. Just talk about her performance and just what did you see out of her that she can just build on out of this?
Well, again, I do think she's kind of been second fiddle, or she's been the guy that no one talks about in our new guard lineup. But she's just a great addition to our team. We were fortunate enough to get in on her late in signing. I think people thought she was not going to be eligible, so the fact that she was able to come in here and be a sophomore this year, and we'll get 3 years with her from a junior college. But she has all the tools to the game. She's got good quickness. She's got good strength, enough size in the guard game to play multiple positions, really plays 3 different positions for us. And obviously, I think she has a tremendous potential to be a great scorer for us. So I'm glad she got loose. Again, those are big moments for young players in our program. And so for her to step up, even when it didn't feel right and we didn't have a lot going good for us, it's a great statement, and it says a lot about her as a competitor to take those big shots and be so effective. And the way they guarded us, people are really going to just challenge us to make threes. I hope that we're a better 3-point shooting team than we're showing right now. But I think you saw Johanna be really effective, and it just shows you that you better watch out because she can stroke the 3.
Daniel Shore, Daily Evergreen. Go ahead, Daniel.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats on the win. The team seemed more aggressive in the first half, going after the ball. Talk to me about that.
Well, I do think the game always has like momentum shifts and ebbs and flows. Overall, I thought we were outstanding defensively. Our rebounding was unbelievable. Again, I think those are 2 statements and 2 areas of the game that if you look at the past 2 years, we're just night and day different. We can guard the ball with better athletes and better players that just really have high IQ and make the game hard for offense. We were obviously undersized against some of their size, but I thought we were physical and fronted and made life pretty hard for their bigs to get really great looks. So I thought we were flying around, and I just think the momentum changed a little bit with the fact that we didn't score at all in the third quarter, and maybe that made us a little bit more tentative. They make adjustments. We're trying to do things. I really liked a lot of the shots that we got in the third quarter. We just missed them. So it'll be interesting to see why the game kind of changed pace so much in the second half. But I do think it's a good statement that our team can play at different paces. And again, when things don't go well, how do you compete and how do you respond? And I like the fact that we responded in a really positive way and stayed with it until it kind of came back around to us getting on a little bit of a roll.
It looks like you held Oregon scoreless the last 3 minutes of the game. How did your defense step up? What adjustments did you make, if any?
Well, I don't know that we made a lot. I mean, we had a couple of subs with size and going small. Again, Ula Matuga, she guarded their 6'6" or 6'5" player quite a bit. I think it is a big statement to how good our guards guarded their perimeters. Kind of kept them from being, the 3-point shooting team that they are. They only make 5 for the night. So I think our guard game was not just not giving them the 3, but also really pressuring them into tough, actually 20 turnovers. So I think, again, you can look at our defensive effort being just a more physical brand of basketball than we've put on the floor before. We've got good bodies. We got good quickness. We're more physical than we've been in the past. And again, we did a great job on the board. So no real matchup. We did bring in Jessica Clark for a few minutes at the end of the game, and I thought her size matched up a little bit better with their bigs. And she's a freshman for us, and she's going to continue to get more and more minutes.
Coach, defense has been key early on in the first 3 games. Your defense, as you mentioned, you forced 20 turnovers. That led to 31 points off turnovers for you all. Just how big has that been pre-shot in practice? Is just defense?
Well, actually, I think we usually score on each other a lot in practice. And I'm usually telling the team that we're the worst defensive team in the country. And yet we get into games and now all of a sudden our scoring doesn't happen, yet we're guarding. So I don't know what to say. I think offensively we're better than we're showing. These numbers aren't indicative of what these players are in practice. Our shooting, I really do think we shoot the ball better. But until we prove it on the court, until we get a better offensive rhythm on the court, people are going to challenge us to make threes and they're going to keep, tightening the floor, maybe zoning us or things like that. But I can't say anything bad about our defense. It's I think we're versatile. We're deep. We can play pick and roll a lot of different ways. We can, our bigs are pretty good at getting switched and keeping, smaller players in front of them and not fouling. Again, it just gives us a lot of versatility in how we want to play. And it's a credit to our team and their mentality of wanting to be a good defensive team this year.
As I mentioned before, this is your first win here at Washington State over a ranked opponent. Not to get too far down the road or look at the bigger picture or anything, but what can you build off of this? How can you grow off of this as you get your first landmark win here at Washington State?
Well, I tried to be a part of a turnaround program at Northern Colorado in 4 years, and it took almost the 4th year where all of a sudden, almost every game, it was like someone was telling me, that's the first time ever in the history of your program you've done this, or that's the most wins in the history of a program, or that's the first time you've ever won a championship. And that's an unbelievable thing when you get into the middle of first time ever. First time ever that we won three straight in Seattle over UW. That's the first ever time I've done that for this program for a team situation. Haven't beaten Oregon State in 13 tries. Those are statement games. I hope it indicates the direction of our program. We're young. We've got great depth. And personally, I think we've got great recruits coming in the next, couple of years that only will make us better. So it bodes well for where we're going. And I think the beauty of this team right now is they're so hungry. They're highly competitive. They're young, but they have an excellence, like a mentality of really competing at the highest level. And so when you get that kind of chemistry and thing going on a team, the sky's the limit. And I think this team we can get a lot better.
All right, Coach, congratulations on tonight's win. We'll talk to you on Monday when Oregon comes down to play you guys. Until then, go Cougs.
Go Cougs!